Okay, I said that I would come back with a comparison of GPT-5 and Claude Opus 4.1, but in fact things have moved on since then. So in fact what you're seeing is GPT-4 OSS 120 billion model about to run on my local laptop, and I'm asking it a question about physics, about quantum consciousness, about the holographic universe and interactions at the event horizon, and whether or not quantum entanglement and quantum consciousness could be a mathematical function of activity at the event horizon in a holographic universe. So that's the base question. This code, partly from a Landgraph template, but I've upgraded and modified this code using Opus, and then I'm about to use a GPT model. So in reality, the answer to my question is that it's the best tool for the job, the right tool at the right time. I still find Opus 4.1 slightly better at coding. However, it is ridiculously expensive compared to GPT-5, about 15 times as expensive. So, I'll use Opus when I need to, and when I have a difficult problem, I'll use GPT-5 for most of the rest of the time. But what you're seeing here at the moment is I've now asked my agentic tool calling flow to go and check the internet based on the answers that it had already given me, to see whether there's any corroborating evidence in terms of quantum consciousness acting at the event horizon in a holographic universe. So here you can see it's using Tavily as the search engine. It's sending the results. It's coming back to itself. Every time you see call model, that's it running GPT-4 OSS 120 billion parameter model on my local laptop. So it's having a good old think about this as it's doing it. And then you can see the results come back. It's preparing the call for the tool. When it calls the tool, as it's doing now, it's actually calling Tavily, which is a search engine. It gets those search results, it comes right back, and it has a think about those results. So what it's constantly doing is it's constantly going around this loop, firing out questions to the internet search engine Tavily, bringing those results back, seeing what it makes, and now it's in its final stage, and what you'll see is it's now compiling the results of what it's found. Now, one thing you'll notice, 120 billion parameter model running on my local laptop. How fast is that? That is incredibly fast. This is how much technology has moved on. Way ahead of anything that's previously been able to run on my local laptop, and with the exception of the calls to the internet on Tavily, which clearly leave my laptop, everything else here stays local to my laptop. I don't have to send any of this data to the cloud. And this is the model compiling the answers for me, and it's doing a really good job. And just to shortcut to the end, what it will actually say is this is very interesting. There's lots of articles about this, but there's nothing that's been peer reviewed. There's nothing academic. Now, I wasn't really expecting anything academic. I think the idea that quantum consciousness and entanglement exist on the event horizon in a holographic universe is not necessarily anything that's likely to be easily studied, because it's going to possibly take some pretty big equipment. But as it prepared all the answers for me, one thing that I did notice is it actually compared subspace as a concept with the event horizon, the holographic 2D surface. And I thought that's really interesting, because anybody who watches Star Trek or any of those movies will see subspace talked about quite a lot. And so for me, that was actually quite interesting to make that connection. So I've had a lot of fun playing with this. It just shows the power of agentic AI and where it is right now. I'll paste some of its conclusions there. We'll see whether they hold out in the future. Thank you for listening.